Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 132 of CoCreative NoCode's Office Hours. I'm your host, Tonya. We're here with our members, Callum, Thomas, and Jay, and Jordan. And we're going to get started in just a moment here. I'm also here with my partners, Justin and Pablo. If you've never attended an office hours session before, we do this 7 times per week now. You can check the schedule at CoCreativeNoCode.com. Just go ahead and sign up for a free account and go to the office hours tab in your members portal, and you can see the list of all 7 sessions that we do. And what it is we invite our members to come on our Zooms, which we broadcast live on Facebook and syndicate on YouTube. And they can bring us any bubble question they want, any bubble topic they want, and we will try to answer it. We can't promise answers, but we promise you won't suffer alone, but we get it right most of the time. All right, we're going to start today with Callum's question. Callum, shall I stop sharing and let you share?
You don't need to let me share. I'm loving the tagline, "Don't suffer in silence." I think that should be the new tagline for the group.
Suffer in silence.
Don't suffer in silence. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
It was actually one for Pablo. He helped me out with it before on the JavaScript part, on how to simulate a click. I've been a massive tit and accidentally deleted the workflow. So I was wondering if you could show us how to do it and how to simulate a click by clicking on an element, if that's possible.
Oh, that's good for office hours too.
You said that what happened, that you deleted the workflow.
The JavaScript that you helped him with a couple weeks ago.
Okay, but I think I sent you a video back then. If you want to check, I'm not sure. Otherwise, but let me know.
I don't think you sent me the video. I think you said you sent me a message saying, "Oh, I'll go over it on office hours next time," and then I didn't show up because obviously.
Okay. Let me try to remember why.
Can you remind him what it's about, Callum?
Yeah, so it's just about. It's for me, it's about triggering a uploader. I'm currently using the uploader, but I've realised that they don't support alternative storage other than Bubble, which is going to make storing images and video really expensive. So I want to switch back to Bubble's native multi-file uploader, but I hate the UI. It looks horrible. So I want to be able to simulate a click on a tiny 1 pixel by 1 pixel plugin, so it triggers the uploader, and then I can create the UI for adding and deleting images from there. That's the use case anyway.
Okay, give me a second because I'm trying to find. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So I know that I made some notes for this. Okay, I'll get the link to your app so that we can demonstrate it in your app. Is that okay?
I haven't built out the UI yet, so if it's possible just to demonstrate it on a test page, that would be fantastic. Or does it need to be my app specifically?
No, I don't think so, but I think it might be better then if we move to another question. I prepare the UI and then we come back, so that I don't, because I need to download the plugin, then put the multi-file uploader, try that it's gonna work, all these things, and then we go back.
Awesome.
That makes sense.
Good.
All right, let's go to, let's see, Thomas, you said nothing, so we're gonna go to Jay.
Okay.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, I'd like to share my, it was okay. I just did spreadsheets. I'd like to share.
Yes.
So this is, we've worked on this before, but it isn't really working. Can you guys see, are you looking at my screen? Or are you looking at CoCreative NoCode Pro? I can't even say it.
I can see your screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
CoCreative Pro NoCode.
So
it's okay. We're changing the name for you, so it'll be easier.
I know, I'm never going to be able to keep up. So I followed this tutorial originally, which is just a pretty straightforward messaging system. Here's the data structure, conversations. This is where the problem is. I'll come back to this. It's a list of messages. Then there's a list of users. And then there is a messages data type with the conversation. And then these are just some things for my interface. And then down in users, there's a list of conversations, I think. There it is. No, there it is. List of conversations. So the problem is that this is supposed to display like, I don't know. I don't know who I'm logged in as right now, but normally what this is supposed to display is, everything I've received. But what it's showing is everything I've received and sent. And then unread is, well, it's empty right now. I don't know why. And then sent is showing correctly. So what happened was, I don't know if you remember to think back, but when I was originally doing this, I was concerned about scalability. So we talked about working around this. So I'm not using this list of messages. I'm just using the other stuff. And then when we went to work on Message Center, it was like a hot mess, and it just was, we went through it a few times. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
So it's still not right. And I'm wondering if maybe I don't need to worry about the list of messages yet. I think, what was the limit, 1,000, or was it more?
It's 10,000.
I mean, yeah, over the years, 10,000 is going to be a lot of communication. I can see two people having that many messages, but in a year, in 2 years, like how long? I mean, because it's just not working. So I either need to fix it with a better way, or I need to just accept this standard way of doing it is good enough for now. I also thought about maybe this is a way to kind of ease in, like put a toe in the back end list and move parts of this over there and just have that alone running, the messaging alone running on back end lists. So those are what I'm thinking. I just don't know what to do.
So my original advice was against the list of messages.
Yes.
Not just because of the 10,000 limit, but also because it just slows things down, as Pablo was saying on an earlier office hours as well. So I think I don't think the list of messages in conversations is the standard way of doing things. I'd be curious to hear what Pablo and Justin think about that. Conversations would have a list of users, that's true. And then the messages themselves would refer, each message would refer back to a conversation, because you would group them by that constraint that the message has that specific conversation in it.
Right.
Right. And then what exactly isn't working?
A couple of things. One is, let me pull over another screen that has this up. Where'd it go? Give me a second. That's that one. This is displaying the wrong messages. I don't know why it's showing nothing now. I was in here a minute ago and it was showing what it should. Let me, oh, I know why. Let me show you in situ. There it is. So it's showing everything. Like I sent these to people and they're here. And then test messages. No one has messaged me. So these are my tests and they are showing as well. Nothing's showing in unread. And sent is showing.
So are you
correctly.
just doing lists of messages? You're not showing conversations at all?
No, I am. This is a list of messages. It was the only way to get it to show, if I recall correctly. This is a list of conversations, current sales conversations. Let me parent up. Search for conversations. List of users contains. I guess maybe my constraint that I'm missing is created by.
Right. You would want, in the case of your all, I think you said you wanted it to be messages that the current user has received. So you would say creator is not a current user.
So that might be the only problem. I think I couldn't do that before because of the test environment. It just wasn't.
It's the messages you want to do that on, not the conversations. Conversations,
Okay,
that's your
got
thread,
it.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused about how you have conversations. Like you're showing messages where I expect to see conversations. So like go back to your go back to the preview.
Give me a second. Okay.
So like like in a traditional like what's like generally I wouldn't go to all and see all of the messages sent to me from like everyone in one list. I would see the list of people who have sent me messages that I haven't seen yet, right? Like the list of conversations. Then I would click the conversation to see the unread message. Right? Does that make sense?
Would it help to look at like a demo of this?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I will, I'll just bring up, I can show you what Canvas does for messages.
Sure.
It might help. I think it's exactly what Tonya was talking about. Just seeing like the list of the people who have sent you a message, and then you can click on it. So if I go to share my screen, and if I go to documentation, oh, Tonya, how do you get to the documentation for a specific page from Canvas?
Oh, I think it's like library or something like that. Like if you
Library.
Canvas
Canvas
library, there you
there
go.
we go. Thank you. Page templates. Okay, so if I look at it's under blocks, I believe it's like chat group, chat widget. This will work. So you have a list of messages with the person, and then underneath you have like what was the last message that was sent, and then you click on that, and then it opens up, and you can see the actual chat with that person, if that makes sense. I think the way that you have it
Yeah,
set
I
up right
have,
now is you have the
I have a
message.
different conception for it. Yeah, I didn't want it to be like, it's supposed to be like an inbox, not like a chat.
But even your inboxes would generally be organized by conversation.
Well, these are, because you can expand them. Like the titles you saw, they're just the top message. If you click it, you see the whole conversation.
Okay, so you just want to show the conversations where the last message wasn't sent by the current user.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, share your screen again. Let's see if we can work up this logic.
Okay.
Why, Jay, out of interest, why would you want that? Why would you want to show the conversations but not show the ones where the last message was sent by the current user?
Say that again. Why would I want to show?
She's got 3 different headings. So she has all, unread, and sent. So all is going to contain all of the conversations where the last message in the conversation was not sent by the current user, was sent by someone else. Unread would be just the conversations with unread messages. Sent would be all of the conversations where the current user sent the last message. Do I have it?
Sent should show what they sent. Like it doesn't have to show the whole conversation. It's just, when you want to think,
Yeah, the main difference here is instead of saying who the conversation is with, although I still think you need that in order for user to for usability. Like go back to the all, like it says from, and it doesn't have, you're gonna have to show who it came from.
Right, I deleted that test user. These are test users that got deleted.
Got
If
it.
you go down further, eventually it does start showing. There it is.
Yeah, so you're just using, instead of just saying who the message is from and how many messages there might have been that they sent, you're just showing who it's from in the last message that was sent. Okay, so go into the repeating group inside of the repeating group, the nested repeating group. So it's exactly what Justin said before. It's just filtering the messages differently.
Okay, this is the repeating group inside the repeating group.
And then,
Or is it? There's the repeating group. Wait a minute.
so you have conversations inside of conversations.
This is the most deeply nested one is messages,
Okay,
and then it's nested in a conversation.
so click on the search for messages. Conversation, and then add a new constraint. And it'll be created by, it's not current user.
Don't you want to see
Then-
your own messages though?
She does when she
Like-
expands it.
Right. And then isn't that what you want though? Like when because that's the expanded portion right there.
Yeah, I guess she's trying to filter out. So this like the tabs are 3 different lists of the same things, right? It's just she wants to see all of the latest messages that other people have sent to her per conversation. And then all of those conversations where people have sent things to her that she hasn't read yet in unread. And then in sent, she wants to see all of the messages that she sent.
Right.
other
On
people.
all though, when you click on all, you want to see your messages there too, right? Jay?
No, she said no. Right, Jay?
Well, it makes a big mess. And that leads me to the other problem that I forgot to mention, which is super important, is this is the welcome message, this big one that goes out to a new person, like, so it's in their inbox as soon as they sign up. And they're all here. They're in my inbox, making me unhappy.
Oh, you're getting welcome messages from every single user?
I'm sending them to every user, and therefore, because I sent them, they're showing up here.
Right. And you only want to show but how would you access that conversation? You sent that conversation.
Yes.
I think this is a scope problem here. I don't think this is actually a bubble problem, in that you sent these messages from this user. Were they automatically created, or did
Yes.
you manually? And you don't want to see the automatically created messages. But what if they
Right.
reply to that message?
Well, see,
Do you
that's because I want them to, I hope they reply, or I want to keep that door open. I can't delete the conversation automatically, because then when they reply, there's no conversation to reply to.
Right. So if you wanted to send a follow-up message with someone, and they weren't in there, how would you do that?
Well, if it was a follow-up, you mean like so you're saying that if I can't see these automated messages in my inbox, how would I interact with them after?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So if they reply to me, how do I reply back?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great question. I don't know. I suppose what I want to do is hide these unless they reply back. Because most people aren't going to reply back.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it, but that has implication for other users too, right? Because like you're talking more like as an admin, right? Because they're coming from this admin account.
Yeah.
And so it's only your account that's messed up. Everybody else's looks fine, right? They only get one of these messages. They don't have 400 of them for every user, right?
Yes.
And so it's just an admin problem. So what you could do is you set up a different data source on condition. So you do a condition that says if the current user is admin, and then you can come up with whatever solution you want for your admin. Whether that's like on every message you has something that says like automated message ? And like yes, no. And if it's an automated message, then don't show it unless it's been replied to. Like you can set up logic specifically for an admin. Because that's what you're running into is just the admin is having this issue, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I think in terms of like the easiest way to set this up so that you don't have to create any admin logic would just to show the list of users instead of showing, because you do kind of have that, but because you're showing the whole message, they can say, hi, I'm so happy. If you just blocked that off, if you did the cutoff content, if greater than, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you wouldn't see the big long automated message, right? So in there, you probably actually want to undo. No, in there you probably want to see it. I mean, sorry, right underneath where it says search for messages, first items text, above the repeating group. Yeah, right there. That's where you want to cut it off. So it says the fourth option down. Oh, you probably don't need to truncate unless you really want to truncate.
No.
There's an option, a checkbox that says cut off content if the elements is not tall enough. Third option down.
I thought that was, I did not know that that's what that did.
Yeah, so basically if it's if the text can't fit within it, it just won't expand it. That's what that does.
Okay.
And so if you were to refresh that page and go back, yeah. And then under all, you should see those messages will only be one line now.
Yeah, it won't happen here because something's going on with this preview page. I don't know what, but I understand, and that should work.
What is the sorry, if you click on like the base page, like click on the white space on the left, you need a type of content user. Okay. So
Yeah.
you right there, you have type of content user. Are you using current user? Like how are you, when you go to this page, is it passing the current user into the page URL?
No.
Like, no?
Oh, well, I don't remember. There's so many ways to get here. So
Right.
I don't know. I have to go look at that.
Because if you look at your preview page,
Yes.
look in the URL, it says lorem ipsum question mark.
Yep.
That's because it's using a blank user because you didn't pass a user to it.
Right.
And so that might be messing something up. Or do you have a slug for the user?
I don't know what you mean, but
so it'd have to be the unique ID of the user to go there. Where you
Okay.
type that? Yeah, the unique ID
Yeah.
would have to go
I
there.
understand. Let me do something different because I think because I came here from preview, that might be the problem. It doesn't make, like you said. That's my new tour.
Cool.
And I don't know my password. Okay, I have to figure that out. It makes a lot of sense what you said. So let me find out what this password is and
Yeah.
try it. It's supposed to be in
You can
dash.
also just run as well from Bubble if you can't remember the password.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Well, that's so much better.
Mm-hmm. And then when you expand it, you should probably remove that condition that you put on the repeating group that says if it was sent from me, like the created by does not equal current user. Remove that so that you can see your own messages when you respond to someone.
And that would be in
that nested repeating group.
the nested one. Okay. And then
the search, and then there's no reason to put unique elements. Unique elements will just slow that down because it'll download all of the options beforehand. But I guess you have full lists, so it really doesn't matter.
And then that one's still empty because I read them all. And that one, I don't know what that's about.
So what happens when you click that sent tab? Is that hiding, is that showing a different repeating group?
Yeah, a repeating group that is based on the messages, I think, if I remember right.
Okay. So what's the data source of the repeating group?
I'm getting there.
Okay,
There it is.
search for
Messages.
messages where it was created by current user and system message does not equal yes. So have you sent any messages that weren't system messages?
Yes.
Okay.
But probably only in my live app. Let me check. Yeah. These are all messages that I actually sent. So this is all right. I think that changing that click that you just said, that it, if it's too tall, too short, whatever, clicking that will make this be much more usable for me.
And if they're looking at the sent, this is just a cool thing that might help you. But if you wanted to view that conversation, you'd have to like manually click on all, and then you'd have to find them, right?
Yes.
Do you know of a way of how to click on that? It'll send you to the correct conversation and like scroll down for you?
No, I think that would be much better.
Okay, so if you're on that sent, if just click on the text there, parent groups messages. Yeah, right there. And then just start edit a workflow. Oh, do you screen freeze? Oh, okay. And so in here, there's actually a cool little thing under the repeating group, which is called scroll to item.
Okay.
And so if you can find, oh, it's having fun, hey? Not loading that edit workflow.
Is this happening a lot the past week? Is anyone else having this problem, or is it me?
I haven't had that. What browser are you in?
Right now I'm in Brave.
Brave? Is that a Chromium-based browser?
I don't know. It's a privacy
Anyone
browser.
else know about Brave?
Yeah, it's a cryptocurrency one. It's a privacy one where you can choose how many ads you see an hour and you earn cryptocurrency from it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But no, I have had that happen a few times where it just doesn't show the workflow. Generally, I just have to refresh the page.
Yep, it's common for me too.
Okay, so let me figure out where we were.
Cool. Brave. No idea.
Okay, scroll to item. Scroll to an entry, or
scroll to an entry of repeating group. Yeah, is the correct name. Oh, you're on the live version. That's why. Just you can just it'll find it again if you click on where it says read only. Yeah, just click on live. Or wait.
I was in dev, wasn't I?
Oh, you were in dev. Yeah. Oh, it's because you weren't logged in.
I got too many browsers and too many open.
It'd probably be easiest if you just refreshed it on Brave.
How many users have you got, Jay?
I'm not going to tell you because it's embarrassing.
No, go on.
It's
Everyone
hardly
starts
any.
somewhere. Everyone
Yeah.
starts from zero, so.
Well, did you hear about Reese? He had 1,000 users on day one. I've got like 8.
Yeah, well, what does Reese's
He's
app do?
promising users that if they're really good at playing the games, that they will win money. So
Yeah,
it's a little
Very
bit
different.
different.
If
Very
you offer
different.
people money, you can have 1 million users straight away.
I mean,
If you
yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. I just want to understand what value Reese is actually offering. He's offering you air?
He's offering players with the skills with the games that they play on his platform. They can bet each other that they'll win against each other. And so they they can play for money on his app.
Ah, okay, gotcha. So they're putting up their own money.
Yeah,
For
they're putting up their own
conversation,
money.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Gotcha.
And then he's taking
Oh,
pardon me, a
Jay,
percentage.
you need to show that repeating group as well. Because how are you showing
like
them?
a license for that?
I'm not sure what you mean.
How when you switch tabs, what's happening? When you
Uh,
switch from all sent to read to unread, what's happening?
these
How
are
are you switching?
there's three different repeating groups, one for all, one for unread, and one for sent.
Right. And
Because
are you
sent-
showing and hiding, or do you have like is there a state that you're
It's a
setting in order
custom, it's a custom state.
Okay, yeah. So just change that custom state to go to all.
I think I have to clear these states are a mess. I think I'm gonna have to do some thinking on how that happened, what made that work. I know that message display is one and sent is another. That maybe will do it.
On your test version,
It's
you don't have any sent.
Nothing. I got, yeah, right. You're right. That's it. So until I take this live, I won't be able to test it.
Oh, you can just copy your database over if you want. So if you go to your data tab and then just copy over just that specific your threads and your messages. Yeah. Or your conversations, I should call it. Yeah, so click copy live data into the development database. That button that you were hovering over earlier, top left. Yeah. And then you just change the data type to copy. Because you don't want to copy, you don't want to overwrite everything. You just want to overwrite, unless you do want to overwrite everything.
It doesn't really matter because the test data is, test data.
Okay.
But it will probably take a little, it won't take forever, but it'll take a little bit. I think it's probably, I don't know. What do you want me to do? Just tell me. Don't make me think.
Yeah, just change the type to threads, conversations, sorry. Conversations. And then after you do conversations, then do the other one. I think messages, you called it.
Yeah.
There's actually a plugin you can get that will type this in for you.
I don't think I need that. I think that's dangerous for me. I tend to do a lot of work late at night. I get super confused.
Awesome. And then you do the other one for there we go, messages, and then test that.
What am I?
Oh, change it to messages first, just in case.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, I should I should have clarified. You're not that user. You're a different user. So you never actually created those messages. That's why they're not showing up. Sorry, I should have mentioned that before. I didn't think of that.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Mhm. But it should work. It should work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it live now and see, and I'm sure it'll work. I'll be back if it doesn't.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks for your help. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Yeah, no problem.
All
All-
right, excellent. Jordan, what you got for us today?
Cool. Right now, what I was trying to work out is, let me see my screen. So I've got like a repeating group over here, which I've just reset up because I did have it as an option set, but I've just changed it to over to the database. So basically, I've got horizontal scrolling. At the moment, there's only eight things in the database. How can I make it so if I add like say 9 items to the database, that it will compress and have like nine items in there showing nicely? Can I do that?
Hmm,
Does that make sense?
yeah, so right now, like, did you create that or did Canvas create that?
I created that.
So I guess,
This looks really
This-
nice, first of all.
right, I know, right? This
looks
is
so
like
good.
the most
Good job.
impressive, like, yeah. This is built on Canvas, so it's awesome.
Can you
I
But all
told
those icons
Jordan,
that you have,
I
that's
told
perfect.
Jordan if mortgages don't work out, he's got a bright
Yes.
future.
This is great.
So tough. So are those repeating groups of those like pictures or something? Like, is that a repeating group?
Hold on. Can you see my screen?
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, the screen sharing is paused. What does it say that?
We can see your screen. I
Okay.
think. Are you moving your mouse at all?
Okay, which one can you see? Can you see the?
I can see the bubble editor.
I think we stopped seeing it. It's not moving anymore. Like
I think it's paused. Yeah. Oh, something fun happened there.
I don't know what I've done. Hold on, let's see.
Maybe unshare and share again.
Stop share. Yeah, there you go. Okay. See that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if I go over to the editor, so I've got a repeating group here.
okay, so it is a repeating group.
Yeah, and it's horizontal scrolling, and I've got it set to 8 columns. I guess what my question is, can that columns be dynamic, or like if you want to make it 9 or 10? Because in the database, I've just added in. I did have it set up as an option set. Pipeline, which was here, but I've just converted it over into the actual database so that you can edit it from the settings page. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items, and I've set up a setting page over here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so you want to be able to dynamically change the width of them. There would be a limit though, right?
So if I go in here, I can go, new stage, and I've set it up so it's all drag and drop, so I can, move that up to wherever I
So
want. Okay.
gorgeous. Good job.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I've got nine stages in here. If I go back to my, my home page, I now want to have, 9 columns here. So it's still got 8, and the ninth one's dropped off.
This sounds like a responsive question to me. Like, Like maybe Dami or somebody could answer it.
Yeah, I have a general idea. It's like, it's not simple. The way to set this up is not simple. If you want to have it 9, the question is, when do you stop? At 12, 15, 30? Like how many, the maximum
Yeah,
you want to show
I
on the
mean,
page, right?
yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be like, there's not going to be too many more, but like basically I want it. So I think the sort of sweet number will be sort of like 5 to 15, because I've got a sub stage here as well. So, you know, this is the main stage, and then you've got the sub stage here. So basically you put, if I just go back, I'll just explain it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
If I go into the pipeline, here's my stages, and then you click in them, and then you can make a sub stage.
Right.
So this
right,
has
right,
got
right.
5 sub stages. If I go back to the new stage, this will have none. So then I can, you know, I can make sub stage 1, and then sub stage 2, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sorry, there shouldn't be too many more, but I just wanted to, I guess it's not a major, but it would just be nice to have it.
The short answer is yes, but it's hard. There are other options with that.
Yeah.
So you could, the question, I mean, ultimately the question becomes like, what do you want it to do when there's 15 that obviously can't fit? Are you wanting them to get really tiny and try to fit them across? Or do you just want them to stack like underneath each other? Because if you want to stack them underneath each other, that's easy. I think the other question you probably have is like, if there's only 5 stages, how do you make sure that it's like evenly spread out across?
Yeah.
And the question is that the answer to that is really, you need to use some custom HTML or some plugins to do that.
Okay.
You're going to need some CSS to set that up, and it's tricky and it's not easy. It'll take a lot of time. So the easiest option is to change it from a horizontal scrolling to just a regular full list group, and then have them just stack if there's more. But if you're really tied on like having them all on one line, you need to do some CSS. You could also
having it as a full list, and then they would stack, would they?
Like the 9th one would go to the next line, is what would happen with that.
If I had rows as 1, would it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a simple way that, because I've got it working up here, and when you go into mobile, it scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
So if you made the page like that, and there's too many, a little scroll bar comes up, and you
Right.
can.
And you would want that to happen on potentially on yours. You want to have that little scroll bar come up.
Well, I guess that would be like an easy workaround if it did.
You could say it pushes it to the next level there.
Yeah.
But having it use the scroll bar, like horizontal scrolling, that's what it's supposed to do. Canvas has some custom CSS set up so that it removes the scroll bar. But if you want the scroll bar in there, you just remove the class on it. So I can show you how to do that as well. Do you want a scroll bar on it?
How would that look? Would it look all right, or?
Well, you can customize what the scroll bar looks like with some CSS, and that's actually pretty simple to do.
Right.
Let's jump in. Let's see what it would look like. So if you go back to Bubble for a second. First, let me ask Tonya, do you have anything about that you might want to add? No?
Nope.
So how are they doing this again? I think they are, Canvas does it in the on the settings tab. And if you check SEO and meta tags, and scroll down in one of these, if you could click on it, scroll through really quick. There should be one that says something about scrolling. No, try the script meta tags in the header, the one above it. Yeah, that one right there. Should be something about scrolling. Yeah, you can keep going. They don't hide it there. They hide it in one of the elements. I can't remember where. But basically, we want to override that. No, it wouldn't be on the index page. It would probably be within the header, actually.
No.
Yeah, it'd probably be in the header, but not even necessarily. So you could spend a long time looking for that for that specific code and customizing it. If you look in, if you type in HTML, or if you look for on the right where it says pick an element, top left, and then type in HTML. Yeah, it's not even hidden there. Yeah, we could spend a long time looking for that. I can have a look on like while we're answering other questions as well. But in the meantime, what we can do is, if you go back to the page where that repeating group was showing, that was on the home page. Okay.
Because like the other thing that I wouldn't mind, like if say if there was you know, like 10 items in the database and it's only showing 8, can we make it so that it drops off like one either side and like centers, because you're never going to go from one the first stage to the last one. You're going to go and you know, follow it just one increment at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And we could have it so it only shows 8 like maximum, and then let's say there's 9, and if you're on the first stage and then you click to go to the next stage, then it would like pan down. Like,
yeah, like could you make it so that like that you're always in the middle one, and then, do you know what I mean? And then you push that and they all shuffle over.
You could make it so that it only shows 2 on either side. That would probably be the easiest way to do it instead of showing 8. Yeah, you could show 2 on either side or 3 on either side.
And have an arrow.
Yeah. You can have an arrow that moves it across, kind of like what ClickUp does. If you've ever used ClickUp before,
No.
that would. I'm just trying to think what would be easier. I think showing the horizontal, like showing the scroll bar, would be the easiest. Or using tags, go ahead.
There's a really cool plugin that allows you to just like drag the horizontal scroll. So click and drag or tap and drag.
Yeah, that was removed recently from the plugin store.
What? Why?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. The developer, maybe it was bought by Zero Code. I don't know. I use that thing all the time too.
Oh, that's terrible. Does that mean my client's app is broken now?
No. If you have it, you have it. They can't remove it. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
That's true, by the way. So if you're using a plugin and they remove it from the store, it doesn't remove it from your app.
No, it won't remove it from your app. I think there is a way to remove it from your app, but I don't. I've never heard of that ever happening. I think you have to delete the plugin, but even then, I think it stays. I think they try to keep it as your app as stable as possible. So if it's working a certain way, then they won't have it change with the plugins. That's why you have to upgrade plugins one by one. You can't just edit a plugin and then have it automatically update. But in terms of how do we do you mind sharing this app? I think this might be something that we want to poke around with, or I might want to poke around with here.
Yeah, with you mean?
Yeah, you can go to settings. You can make it public, or you can send me as a collaborator. So if Let's do general. Yeah, sure. And then scroll all the way to the top. And then change it to everyone can edit. And then just send me the link real quick. And then just make sure after that to set it back to no one can edit, because this will be live. Or this is live right now. Actually, let's not do that. I forgot we're live. Yeah, set it back to private app. Let's go to collaboration. And then Justin.Hume at techmateconsulting.ca.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, and then I should see it pop up. Okay, so I think this is a pretty good big challenge. Is Pablo still here, or did he had to run for a second? Hey Pablo.
I'm here, but I missed all the first part of the question.
Okay, so basically we have a repeating group that has some icons on it, and if there's 5 icons, like we want it to be dynamically spaced. If that's the first question, if we can do that. And I know you can do it with CSS, but I think it's pretty tricky. So like if you have 5 icons, they're all spaced out, like spread out evenly across it with a repeating group. And I've never actually done it, but I've seen it done.
And the number of icons is variable, I assume.
Yes, yeah.
I know that it can be done, same as you. But I haven't done it myself. I've worked on an app where another developer did it on a page, so that's why I know it can be done. But I guess like it needs some investigation.
Yeah. What's the name of the app again? It's called Total Mortgages. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just jumping in here. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Sure.
And then, Pablo, feel free to jump in here about the best way to do this, or like the best alternative. Pablo, are you aware of how Canvas removes the scroll bar? I know it's some JavaScript that they have on the, or some CSS they have on the page. I just don't know where on the page they have it.
No idea.
No? Okay.
Probably on the header, right? And it's probably
that's what I said, but it wasn't there.
By the way, I still see that plugin available.
You do?
Yeah.
I was searching for it the other day. I wonder if they put it back up.
RG drag to scroll.
Drag to scroll. Yeah.
Yep, it's there. It's available to install for free.
Well, that's definitely an option. So Jordan, you could have it so they drag. It's not the most like
intuitive.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's not the most intuitive, but they can drag to scroll, which is really nice for horizontal repeating groups. But I just don't know if it would work in that situation. If that would be the best.
Yeah.
Thing. So let's jump on that. It's not the sidebar. Sorry, it's on the side menu.
Side menu. Yeah.
Okay, so it's right here, Pablo. So we're trying to get this to. Ooh, this is We're trying to get this to horizontally scroll. So right now, I think there's 9. Do I have to be logged in as a user, Jordan?
To make it work, yeah, probably.
Do you know which user you were just on?
Would have been just me, Jordan. Bottom one.
So the first one?
Yeah.
Or I mean the last one. Okay.
JC. I'll message it to you.
Oh, I'll just copy and paste it from here.
All right.
Okay. So now that I have it, whew. Okay, let's let that load. Because like it is horizontal scrolling, and I'm pretty sure you can scroll left to right. It just doesn't show the scroll bar.
It would be the same way that people do it with like pagination, eh? Like you know how they have like numbers down the bottom, and then when they get
right.
Would it?
Yeah. I mean, we could do it that way. I don't know if that's the most intuitive. If sorry, how do I get to that? It's on the home.
Home, yeah, and then this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, pipeline. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then click on this. Okay. So it is scrollable right now, but there's just no scroll bar telling you that it's scrollable, right? So how do we get that scroll bar? So if I check the CSS, I don't know if I can find the location of where it is. So let's remove that for a second. So yeah, it still scrolls, and like you can click to move it around. Let's find where that scrolling no scroll bar thing is. I think it's all the way up here. Yeah. So if I check the CSS for it, I should see something on scroll bar. Yeah, pseudo scroll bar button element width 0. So it's just making it 0. So I'm just wondering where this has come from. It's coming from a style tag in the header. So WebKit scroll bar transparent. So that must be happening in the settings page. Okay, so there's a way to get around that if we just want to show it on this one. I'm assuming also on this one.
No,
They're
no,
both
that
the
one,
same?
that's the old one. I'm going to delete that.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's grab a plugin called Classify. I don't think you have Classify on right now. Or I guess this is the only location you're going to have it, so we can just do it without using Classify. So let's just add an attribute. Let's say scroll bar on is the attribute. And then let's add some custom HTML to the page. It looks like, oh, there it is. Found it. We found it. Okay. It's on the page. So what we're going to do is we're going to say some custom, I think it's hashtag scroll bar on, and then we're going to do WebKit, WebKits, like all of these things basically is what we'll have to do. So I'm just going to grab all of this and just let's paste it on, and then we'll just move put that in front. So I'm just going to put that in front of everything, and then we're just going to make it not invisible for that one particular item. And this also works the reverse for anybody else who's watching right now. You can do this the opposite way in order to turn off scroll bars for one particular repeating group if you don't want them to show. Okay, so instead, what we're going to do, because we want to override this one, so we're going to make it important. Everything's going to be important. So we'll just put that on all of that. Let's change the height to, let's change the height, let's say 5 pixels, because we want it to be pretty small. Put in parent. We don't want the background to be transparent. This is the thumb. So what color would you like it to be? Blue? I'm assuming this blue that you have right here.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
The canvas has quite a nice one on mobile, but I don't know how that works.
Okay. So if I get
So
this,
see, you go to the that top bar, yeah, in there. Is it in that bit?
I can't seem to get it any smaller than that. Like the scroll ball for this one?
Yeah.
No, I'm not getting one. Can I make it smaller? I think I can.
Go. Can you click on one of the names? Of
Click on
yeah.
their names.
Yeah. And then go open text line. That's all. Is it loading?
Yeah, something's loading. Is it a workflow? Do I have to refresh? Or is it just a link?
Yeah. It'll take you to a new page.
Okay. It says it's loading, but I don't see anything moving. Here, open fact find. Says it's loading. Come on. And so essentially what you're saying is it's like this with icons, but there's like there's a bar underneath or on top?
Underneath it.
Underneath. Come on. Let's just refresh and try that again.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the fact find. Okay,
Yeah,
so
they're smaller. They should be. Huh? No. It normally comes up on mobile.
maybe I have to define it as mobile. Yeah, I don't see it. Does it come up on your screen when you do that?
I've never done that, but I'm just logging in on my phone.
Oh, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, iPhones add scroll bars when you scroll.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why. That's why that's happening.
Okay.
So, in this case, let's just have a look at what this would look like. Let's go with that color. Let's add important to everything. Make sure that it overrides the other one. I think it will already override the other one. Right, Pablo? Are you familiar with CSS?
Not so much. I've
No.
worked a little bit with it, but not a lot. That's why I use Bubble.
So let's make the back, let's make all of it blue. The scroll bar hover, the scroll bar active, all of that can be the same color. That doesn't matter. The track can be blank. The track hover, the track active, all of that can be blank. Scroll bar corner. Sure, the corner? Oh, okay. So now based off of that, let's see if that makes any changes. So I'll go back and refresh. Oh, I can't go back. There we go. And we'll wait for it to load, and hopefully that will show a scroll bar underneath. Now we might need to make this a little bit taller in order to give it a little more room for the scroll bar. There we go. Yeah. Do you see that scroll bar?
Yeah.
So we can cut, you can play around with that. There's actually CSS custom scroll bar. There's like, it shows you exactly what you need to change and how you can change it. And I think there's like just a tool that will do it for you. And you can like you can copy this code if you want it to look like that. I think you can get rounded edges. Let's get some rounded edges on it. Let's do some, where's the rounded edges? Width inset, width. I think it's radius, border radius is what we want. Yeah. On the track, or on the thumb rather. So if we go back, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. On here, we can give it a radius for this scroll bar thumb. That's the end of it. And it'll look something like this. We can make it maybe a little smaller. Let's make it, instead of 5 pixels height, let's make it like 3 pixels height. And let's see how it looks there. And it should just show right underneath like that. And I think that's probably good enough, hey, Jordan?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And then if you want to move it down a little bit, just make this a little bit taller. So let's make
Is
that
there a way
taller.
to like if it will it default to the first one, will it, or how would that happen?
Default to the first one?
Say if you're on the ninth, had the ninth one selected, would you be able to? Would you have to scroll, or would you already be able to see that ninth one?
Oh, so you just wanted to scroll. So you can set that up by which one you're selected on. So what you can do is on how do you open that? What do you have to click in order to open that sidebar? This is called.
You just click the person's name.
Floating group side menu. So let me just look for that. Oh, so you're animating it. Okay, so right here. So when they click that and it's displaying and it's adding a pause, what you can do is just do scroll to an entry. And this is the same thing that we're showing on JZap from before. So we're just going to scroll to the entry that it is. So you just have to identify what stage that's on. So it's getting the parent group's applications. Oh, you're searching for a pipeline based off of that application. So let's just copy that over. The element is, what's the name of that element? Repeating group pipeline storage. Stage, not the first one?
Page, yeah, it should be the one. The first one, I think.
First one, okay. And then we're gonna go to that pipeline. We just have to search. Oh yeah. Hold on a second. Oh, how does it know which one it is? That's what I want to know. And there's a condition, right? For if it is the floating group side menus application stage. Oh, okay. So it's just the application stage. So let's delete that floating group sidebars. No, side menu, right?
Yeah, side menu. Yeah.
Side menus application stage. And then we can animate the scrolling if we really want. And then when you go to it, when you open that up, it'll automatically move it over to whatever stage you're at.
True.
So let's go ahead and click on one.
Do that third to last one.
Yeah, let's click the third to last one here. Okay. Oh, which one did I click on?
You go no?
This one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'll try to move it to the very top or to the very first one, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if
Cool.
I click on this one, there's no stage here. So I'll put a stage there. Yeah, you can see that it scrolls it. If I put this one like as the last one. Oh, where'd it go? That's the thing, I keep losing it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because when you change it, it goes off the page.
Oh yeah, if I lose it, okay, if I move it to the last one, it goes off the page.
Yeah, and then you got to click the last one at the top. So you see the pipeline at the top. To the right. Yeah, yeah. It moves it along there. So those are the stages.
Oh, so if I click on the lead here,
Yeah.
then it should move all the way to, but no, it looks like these are not set up yet.
Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should do that properly. So that should work. If that works, awesome. We'll just keep that little scroll bar there.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any other questions, Jordan?
I just did have one more, but someone else. Is there anyone else that needs to go? Or?
Oh, let's just cycle back through. Callum, did you have another question?
No, unless Pablo, have you had a chance?
Yeah. We can look at that now at the uploader plugin, the BDK one.
Okay.
So
Which one? Sorry.
yeah, you were asking about the BDK uploader, right?
Just the bubble one, because the BDK one has the issue of you have to use upload care, which is insanely expensive. Whereas the bubble one, you can put it and you can send it to box storage or any of the other ones.
Oh, okay. So I thought you wanted to like replicate again, like the functionality.
So yeah, that's what I did last. It doesn't necessarily matter though, does it? Because we're just looking at how to simulate a click with JavaScript. It should be the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or is it in a different place?
Yeah, I'll show it. I'll show you what I did the last time, and you can do it with the multi-file uploader if you want. And then if it doesn't work, I'll help you with that. Okay, so you're seeing my screen, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I actually have it written here, so I'm gonna copy it and I'm just gonna walk you through it. So I have here the upload widget from the BDK uploader, and I also have a button that would be the one that we would want to click in order to trigger it. And the problem with the BDK uploader is that the button was really ugly, and it's probably the same thing that happens with other uploaders, right? So we don't want to have to click on that button to just open the pop-up. Let's wait for it to load. My goodness, yeah. So we want to have this same behavior, but we want to have it when we click this button, right?
Yeah.
So how did I do this at first? So here, this element has an ID attribute of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? which is the same one that we use to test it. And then here, if we want to access the element, the HTML element, we need to do document.get element by ID. Which ID? The ID that we just assigned to that button. So to that widget. So this one. Now, here, since it's a div, we can access its elements by doing .children. Okay. And here we see that we have an HTML collection, and an HTML collection works like an array. So it's a set of elements. So we can access the first one, we can access the second one, whatever we want. Okay. And so I would just test because it's the easiest. And to access them, you need to do item, but you can do like item 1, item 2, item 0, depending on the amount of children that you have, right? Let's check what happens if we do item 0. We get an input, and we're not going to want to work with an input. If you kept going down, you would see, which is what I did, you would see that you don't get to a button. So you're not going to be able to click it, which is what you want. You want to find the button that is choose files, and the one that when you click it triggers the pop-up. So what I did is I kept looking and I saw another div. So I thought, okay, I'm going to open this div and see which children it has. And here I found some buttons. So I thought, okay, I'll try to investigate a little bit more. And I did the same. I thought, okay, let's check the first item. The first item, it's just a class that says drop a file here. So yeah, we cannot click this. It's not going to do anything. But if you were wondering, like maybe it does something, well, you can just do click, see what happens. Nothing. Okay, you just keep testing. Item 1. Again, I think I did the same. So I thought, okay, let's just see what happens when I do click. Nothing. Item 2. Upload query, another text, nothing's going to happen. But if you go to item 3, here you have a button, and it's actually the button that says choose files. So if you do click, it opens the pop-up. So once you have found that, you can get this text, which is a JavaScript that you're going to want to run, and just choose when do you want to run it. So in this case, when we click this button, the upload image, you run the JavaScript with that text that I have it here. So the one that I just copied. And that's it. So I guess you will have to try it out with whatever uploader you want to use.
Awesome. That's good. It's just the standard bubble multi-file uploader. I'll just use that one because if we're doing it this way, it doesn't matter whether it looks good or not. But no, that's really helpful. Thank you. I'll do that, and I'm sure I'll be in touch when
Awesome.
I work it when I get stuck.
Awesome. You're welcome. By the way, I'm also going to cover something because after this morning session, I spent some time working with the Tinder thing that we were talking about. So the database structure and checking like why didn't it work, the way I wanted to set it up. So creating the like element instead of having a list of likes.
While he's setting that up, quick plug, he's referring to our new European friendly office hours at, what is that, 11 a.m. Spain time. So yeah, if you are watching live and you don't know yet, we have added 2 additional office hours every week. Go check out the schedule at CoCreativeNoCode.com, sign up for a free account, and then just click on the office hours to see the schedule.
So I have it here. It's nothing fancy, okay, but it's just for you to see what I meant. So I've created a list of users, okay, and let's just simulate. I mean, we're gonna pretend that your app has these users and they can run into each other when they're doing just checking the same way that Tinder works, right? So if we sign up as John, we would be seeing like all this list of users, and you could either like the user, or pass. And I'm just gonna simulate this a little bit. So imagine, then pass, and John would have a list of likes and a list of dislikes, only that these lists are not in the user. So they are data types that I will show you now that I am creating. Okay. And now if we look at John, he's giving likes to Laura and Celia. So we go to Celia and we see the app as this user. She's been liked by John. Now, if she, I'm just going to pass on everyone until I get John. We click like, it's a match. So this is the functionality, but the way it works is a bit simpler than what we were doing. So a fake user, we are actually not using email, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. We are using name and the user ID.
Is that user ID different to their unique ID?
No. So the problem with that we were having also is that I couldn't do the constraint that I wanted to do with unique IDs. It needed to be another field. So that's why I'm creating a user ID. Okay, that could be generated randomly. And then I also have a type, which is like. And as we saw this morning, I have a fake user, which is the one that is liked, and a fake user that is the one that is giving the like. And I actually have the same with the dislike, because I thought that you also don't want to see the users that you've already swiped left or swiped right. Now, these are 3 repeating groups that wouldn't be visible on the page, but are visible, one, to make us understand this a little bit better, and also because you would need them as auxiliary groups. So we have, we're searching for, let's do this one first, which is easier to understand. We're searching for likes, where the liking, the person that has given the like, is the current user. Okay. In this case, I'm just assigning one user to the page and simulating that this is the current user, but this will be current user. And for all these likes, I'm going to get the person that has been liked. Okay, I'm giving the likes. These are the persons that are being liked. On the other hand, here, we're doing the opposite thing. So we're looking for the likes where the person that has been liked is me, and we're getting all the users that have given the like. Okay. And now in the dislikes, we're doing the same, but with the dislike data type. Okay. So the person that is disliking needs to be me, the current user. And we're looking for the people that have been disliked. I don't know how to say this. Probably I should have chosen a better name. Okay. But yeah, I hope that you get the gist. And now here, I'm actually just using a group because I'm only showing one person at each time. Okay, but this would work as well with a repeating group. And what I'm doing is I'm searching for the users, and I am making sure that the user ID is not in this group or this group, this repeating group or this repeating group. Okay, so since I have here a list of users or fake users in this app, and they all have IDs, here I am removing from the list of fake users the ones where the ID is in those lists. And then I'm also removing myself, of course. Okay, and I'm getting the first item, and this works. And this, although maybe at first, at the initial stages of an app, it could be slower than the approach of having lists in the user, when you have like maybe less than 100 or 200 or even 500 likes or like dislikes. Your approach of having lists would actually be faster. In the long term, the approach of creating likes and creating these like passes or dislikes would be way more scalable. So how this happens? When I click like, I am creating a new like. And in this case, yeah, so the like is the user that is in the group. And then the person liking is the current user. And then I either terminate the workflow, or I do the workflows that are associated to the match if the person that is the current user hasn't been liked by the person that just showed up, right? So since I also have the list of the persons that have given me likes, I can very easily do this by checking that that list doesn't contain the person that I just liked. And so either I terminate the workflow or I create the new match where I just have a list of users. I'm going to show you this. I have a list of users and whether these users have viewed the match or not, to be able to notify them if not, so that they can check it. And the users have the liked and the liking, and then viewed only has liking, which would be the same as adding current user, so yourself. And with the pass, I do the same, but only the first action with the dislike type or data type. Okay, and this is it. The other one was just to create new users, and this is only to select the user and pretend that I am viewing the page as that current user.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Very good, thanks. Was that a matter of not being able to put it down, Pablo? Like,
what do you mean?
that happens to me sometimes. I'll get asked a question on office hours, and then after office hours, I'll be like, I can't leave it alone. I have to go back and sit down and do it.
Because that's the thing. Like I knew that it had to work. You know, I was like, okay, I know that this approach works. So I was like, why is it not working? And I couldn't let it go. Like I had to solve
Got
it.
Got it.
And then, yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
it's much easier to do it when you have like time to think. And yeah, of course.
Agreed. Jay, do you have anything else for us?
I have a stupid thing
Okay.
to show you. So these images are, sometimes they're round, sometimes they're not. So I'm missing something obvious. Yeah, not. Here's how they're set up. Border, the standard style is border roundness is set.
Change the run mode rendering.
Yeah, set it to zoom rather than rescale.
What do you want to see?
So underneath where it says in your element editor, where it says search for free images, underneath that it says run mode rendering rescale. Change that
To zoom.
To zoom. Okay.
And then the other piece of that,
that
just
should
check
be
and
it.
see that. Yeah, just check and see.
That one was checked before, and we're looking at who's nearby.
I wouldn't keep element proportions as this page is resized. I would uncheck that. Yeah.
How come?
Okay.
It's not fixed width. Make it fixed width.
It's okay. It's gonna break when it's responsive.
No, fixed width's fine because it will keep it as a
The same size.
What's that? What'd you guys say?
They were both saying that fixed width is fine. Well, that worked for my picture.
Yep, your picture looks good. And then, oh, they added some, didn't they? I don't even know what that is. Looks good there. All right, it's looking okay. Thank you. I knew it was a dumb question.
We'll scroll up a little.
I haven't changed that one yet.
Okay, got
I
it.
only changed this one. But you can see this one isn't fixed with, but it came across round here. It's just
Got it.
weird. Like that one's
Okay.
round here too. I don't know why it would be.
It's because of the image. It's because of the original image. If the original image isn't a perfect square, then it will change the shape of it. I'm guessing the image you used at the top is a perfect square when you uploaded it, so it's just putting a circle around it, and it's absolutely fine. But if it was a oblong when you uploaded it, that's why.
Yeah, they're all crazy sizes. Can't control what a user does. So so this is extremely helpful. Thank you. I'll fix the others.
Ah, but you can. I should go back and do a case study on that, actually.
Are we
What
talking
did.
about crappie?
Crappie extended and that workaround that I did for that app a few months ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think it's better than what like Facebook and Instagram offer, to be honest. So
Well,
Wait,
now
how
that-
did you fix crappie? You got it.
So
You got to
cra-
share the
cra-
goods. What episode?
crappie extended. Okay, so I will go back and do a case study on it and bring it back to present. But essentially what we did was we used crappie extended, and then so we went back and refactored all of the image elements on the site to be the same aspect ratio, because the problem is the client was frustrated because when his users would upload an image, that image would be used in multiple places, but with different aspect ratios. So different parts were showing of the picture in different places, and he wanted it to be consistent. So what we did was we went back and intentionally made different sizes of images, but the same aspect ratio. So that was a challenge in and of itself. But now I know better. I won't be designing apps with different aspect ratios for pictures that will be uploaded in one place. But then with crappie extended, what we did was when the user uploaded the image, they would see what was going to be shown, and then they would be allowed to crop it to exactly what they wanted to be shown in that aspect ratio. And that solved the problem, because then the users didn't have to upload one picture and then see how it would look and then, start over. Like you have to do that a ton on Facebook and Instagram. I
Right.
mean, yeah. So it just eliminated that problem. So.
Yeah. Okay. I have a huge problem with crappie in that crappie.
Not crappie. No, it's a different plugin. It's crappie extended, not crappie.
Yeah. No, sorry. Crappie extended. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But it's using the same crappie SDK.
Okay.
The problem with it is that it doesn't. And if anyone finds out how to fix this, I will pay you because I have talked to so many people and I've had JavaScript developers work on it and they can't figure it out. Basically, it will, if you try to upload multiple images with the same crappie extended element, it will make the zoom go crazy. Like it will zoom in and you can't zoom out, and then you have to close it and then open it again, and then it works fine. It's
you
so
mean
annoying.
like when you're actually doing the uploading, or when you're like?
So
when
yeah,
it's
so
showing?
we had an app where basically it would take a screenshot of the live stream, and then it would use that screenshot, and then you would crop out the product that you were trying to sell, because you were selling items live. And so you take a screenshot, it would take a screenshot of the live stream, and then it would send it to the crappie, extended crappie. And then you would crop the product, and then you'd hit save, and then it would send it. And then there was an auction going on, right? And so this was working great, except that you do it the first time, everything's fine. You do it the second time, it zooms in at 300 times, and then it doesn't come out. There's no way. And so I worked on that for probably 100 hours.
Oh my gosh, that's
I ended up building.
I
I ended up building my own cropping JavaScript plugin specifically for that thing, and it took me less time than trying to figure out how to do that.
That's awesome.
So if anyone it's one of those things you can't put down. It's like, why didn't this work? And I will do anything to try to figure out why it didn't work.
Got it. I think we weren't.
Insanely annoying. I was going to say it's insanely annoying because Uppy Uploader, one that I really used to love, have just updated their plugin, which now includes cropping and filters and everything that you want. Only problem is, when you crop something or put a filter over it or anything like that, it won't let you save it. I've done the same thing. I've had hours and hours and hours. For whatever reason, if you just upload images normally and save them, it does it perfectly. As soon as you change the image using their cropper or their editor or whatever they call it, you can't save it.
I have used. What was the name of the plugin you said? Sorry.
The Uppy Uploader Pro. They've recently updated it like a couple of weeks ago to include all the editing stuff. I've got it working perfectly except the editing stuff. It just won't let you save the edited images unless I've completely screwed it up.
I'd love to have a look at that, because I've done something very similar to that. And it took me forever to figure out as well, but I think I figured it out. at the very end.
Was that with Uppy?
No, it was with a GUI. It was GUI something, GUI Editor Pro or something like that, I think is what I
Okay.
used. But I was having a similar thing. I couldn't upload it. It was in base 64 and it kept trying to turn it into a string. It was annoying. But yeah, I do want to jump in. Jordan had that last question here. Jordan, do you
Yeah.
mind if I share my screen to
Yeah,
talk
yes.
about that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So your question is these, it says lead on all of them, and it should say like what it is, correct? I don't think these ones are set up,
It should
right?
have the stage name.
Okay, so there's so many different ways of creating a tooltip that I don't know which way they're using. You see, there's an ID attribute here set up on each one, but I just don't know where the tooltip is coming. So I'm just, looks like it's in here. Okay, there's the tooltip. So you see where it says element ID, tab 1.
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to match that. So usually what they do is you say the current cell's index. And then what that will do is that will create a unique ID for each one of these things. And so this one would be 1, tab 1. The next one would be 2, tab 1. And so each of them will get a unique ID. So once you have a unique ID for each individual one, then the names will properly propagate because it will be able to find the correct ID. That's the thing with IDs, is that IDs have to be unique. You can only have one element on your page that has an ID. If you have 2 elements with the same ID, everything will break. So you can see lead. So we just got to make sure that the words that are coming in are the correct words. So we can see, I think it was under tooltip. Tooltip A is where that was. So we're triggering on hover. We want to show this at current cells tabs display capitalized words. So the current cells tab is home display. And so these are all tabs home. Okay, so they each have just different displays, right? Option sets. Yeah, they're all different. None of them is lead though. Any idea why none of them is lead?
Hang on, which what are you on?
I'm just
You're on
curious.
I think you're on the second one, sorry. So there's 3 of them and they so go to
okay. So it should be on pipeline stage, this one?
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like you have 3 different tooltips.
Yeah.
Or 4 different tooltips. They all need to have different unique IDs. So this unique ID, you can see, no, they do. Okay, they just you need to use, I just said 3 words at the same time. You need to use the unique ID attribute on all of them and make sure that none of them have the same name. So let's grab tooltip B. Where's tooltip B is living in there? Oh, I just did tooltip B. Tooltip C, which, it's living down here. So this is progress bar leaves. This is not inside of a repeating group, so it doesn't need to do anything. Oh, it does. It is in a repeating group. So we also need to use the current cells index for this one. Progress bar leads, and then let's say for this one, yeah, let's use current cells index. We might need to change this one because I think you're reusing this group, this repeating group for different tabs. Is that correct? And so
Yeah.
this will change. So we might need to be a little more specific. Actually.
Oh no, that one's just sorry, yeah. Am I? No. I think I'm just using it for that pipeline one.
Okay. Let's see where the other tooltip is. Tooltip D. Make sure that isn't. Yeah, this one is overwriting that. Tab 2. So make sure everything. Where was that? Tooltip D. I love when sometimes the CSS doesn't work. Do you know where this one is? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so then I just need to change this one to be the current cell's index. Okay, this should work. And
Yeah,
if it
it's
doesn't,
working. It's working.
it's working on your side?
Yeah.
Awesome. You got
Thank
that
you very
changed
much.
faster than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Whenever you're using something within a repeating group, and this is true across the board, anytime you use something inside of a repeating group that needs an ID, you need to use like the current cell's ID in order to pass that on. The current cell's index to make it unique. Now I'm not getting anything right now, but you're saying it's working.
It's working on my end. Hang on.
Okay, let's
No,
let's see.
It was working. It was working before you.
Before I changed it. So you have current cells index tab 2 on hover, and this should be current cells index tab 2. So those are the same. We're not changing the ID for anything. Does this have, this is tab 1, right? Tab 1, tab 2. I didn't see any other tab 2s. It was working before I did something. That means one of the other ones is probably broken.
Yeah, maybe like D. I think I checked it before you done D. Maybe just delete.
Oh
that.
yeah, look at that. Look, it has the same name. There we go. Tab 2.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't be tab 2. It should be,
Yeah.
I don't know, tab 3 or tab D. Yeah, sure. Call it tab D. Just where is it? Where is tooltip D? Do you see it on the page somewhere?
I
Here.
think it's there. Yeah, down in the repeating group down the bottom.
Oh, no. Tooltip D and tooltip B are in the, no. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, let's just call it tab D for now. Maybe that'll fix it. Because the other one was tab 2.
Yeah.
Come on, Bubble, refactor quickly. We need music to play while we're doing, like the Jeopardy music. That's what we need.
That is exactly what came to my head, was the Jeopardy music.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm still not getting to work on my end, but you said that it was after I changed this one that it was working. But this one doesn't have. So let me search what's going on with the page. Inspect. I'm going to search for anything with that ID. So I'm going to search through here. So ID equals, what was it? Tab 2, something tab, or I'll just call it tab 2 or tab D. I think we renamed it to. We have 8 of them and there's 8. So nothing's overwriting it, which is good. That means nothing's overwriting it. It's just not showing it. I'm curious why. Is this the correct one? This is pipeline stages and these are pipeline stages, right?
Yeah.
And it should be showing the pipeline stage's name. Making sure that that's actually in there, pipeline stage. Oh, that's why it was showing lead for each one. Let's check tooltip A.
The tooltip C on the element, it's we haven't added in the current cells index. So if you click on that little progress bar, it hasn't got progress. Yeah, after it.
Okay, let's see.
You put it after it on the tooltip, and then you just put it before it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's replace that. Okay. Refresh one last time. And then we wait. I'm not getting any tooltips at all. This one's working.
Yeah.
This one's not. There's only one that has tab D, and that's this one. Anybody want to jump in? Help? Tonya, Pablo, you know why this is not working?
I already looked at it before with Jordan a while ago, and I wasn't able to figure it out either.
It's just not triggering that one specific thing. Like this one's working fine. This one is not. There's no workflow associated with it. It's all CSS. So let's see what's. Can I keep track of like the performance? Maybe it'll log that. Oh, I have to record. What's going on here? There's a lot going on there. It's too much. Bubble our box, and it's got. Where's the ID? ID is 1 tab D. I wonder if it's because you can't start. I wonder if it's because you can't start an ID with a number. But it was confirmed, Jordan. It was working at one point.
I did see it work. Yeah, when in between you changing them.
Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. That's what it was. Okay. All right. Note to all bubblers: you cannot start. You cannot start an ID with a number. It has to be a letter
That is really good to know.
or a symbol, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know if I would have ever used that.
No, we need to post that on the forum or in our vault. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, there you go, Jordan. Hopefully that helps out.
Thanks, Justin. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Well, I think it's time to wrap up office hours for today, but I want to thank Thank everyone for being here. I think Thomas had to take off. So thank you, Callum, Jay, and Jordan for being here, Justin and Pablo as well. We'll be back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time for episode number 133 of Co-Creative NoCode's Office Hours. If you would like to join us for your complimentary session to see what Office Hours is all about, please email us at team@cocreativenocode.com and we'll get you some credentials. Thanks so much, everyone, and see you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys
guys.
on
Bye.
Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you, Jay.